Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. More risks of obesity are announced every day, but one doctor has caused controversy by urging airlines to charge obese passengers more for their seats. Dr. John Tickell, an Australian expert in weight control and nutrition, compares obese people to excess luggage, saying they should pay for their additional weight. Under the controversial plan, the heavier the passenger, the more expensive the ticket would be. Health groups have criticised the idea of a so-called fat tax, saying that it singling out people with weight problems would cause emotional stress. Well, none of Australia's airlines plan to charge their prices based on weight, as they believe it breaks the country's anti-discrimination laws. Now here's how you, our viewers, responded to this issue. Angela in Florida in the US believes this measure would be very offensive and writes, "I think this is an outrageous idea because some people do not choose to be fat. Part of it is hereditary and the other part has to do with personal metabolism." Khalid in Oman believes there are other ways to deal with this sensitive issue. The government has no right to enforce such taxes. There are many awareness programs that public and private organizations can support to reduce obesity. Marco in Rome finds the idea ridiculous and says, "It's not right to tax someone just because they do not fit the stereotypical weight or height. What's next? Charging more for redheads because they are in the minority?" Kenneth in the United Kingdom believes it's all about the bottom line. "I would imagine that overweight people do not see it in the same way that people who are of average weight. However, extra weight is extra weight, and it doesn't matter if it's in the luggage bins or in the passenger seat. I say tax them." It's something to read a long book. 1,400 pages of Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace is probably worth the time if you enjoy the classics. But do you know anyone interested in reading a book whose title alone is more than 1,000 words long? A college principal in India is seeking entry into the Guinness Book of World Records for writing the longest title, 1,022 words to be exact. The book is about the actor Daniel Radcliffe, who plays the character Harry Potter on screen. It turns out Dr. Subramanian's daughter is a huge fan of Radcliffe. The title of the book begins with Daniel Radcliffe, the story of the not-so-ordinary boy, and ends with "to his ever-royal crown of fame." And interestingly, doesn't have even a single punctuation mark. Now, we were impressed by some young men in France who do a great job of keeping their cities clean. Whether some of these shots were doctored or not, we found them to be neat. No pun intended. Looks suspiciously doctored, doesn't it? That's it until next time. Do keep sending in your questions and comments and point us to anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera, and some of the content's been edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.